any questions, you are allowed to unmute yourself. You can raise your hand. You can throw things in the chat. I think there's a Q&A. However, you are more than welcome anytime to interject. This is, as I've mentioned, an open session. So this is your opportunity. I kind of wanted to pause at our office hours and kind of give a breather to the topics that we've covered to make sure if you attended and weren't sure of something or needed extra clarification, or maybe you missed a session and had a question and you went back and watched or didn't. This is kind of your opportunity to hit us up with any questions you have regarding warranty. We did 2 sessions of warranty, went pretty in depth. Pricing, we went also 2 hours for that. Also pretty in depth. The IPA claimback process. We talked about ordering warranty parts through Solution Navigator. So this is your opportunity to let us know if you have any questions, if you're hung up on something. This is kind of your time. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of give us a foundation to start on here. Let's open it up for warranty. Are there any, warranty questions you have, concerns? Again, feel free to unmute yourself, throw things in the chat. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and just show you my screen in Solution Navigator, just kind of a refresher on where to find the warranty information. Couple different places. You could drop down warranty and go to warranty here, or you can go to applications and go over to warranty. Both ways take you to the same place. So this is how you get into warranty. And you may or may not have all of these tiles, which is perfectly fine. Product registration, the dealer search and registration, product tracking. If you want to know all the details of a unit, product tracking is where you're going to go for that. Extended warranty purchase. If you want to check the status of that extended warranty purchase, warranty claim entry. If you want to check the status of your warranty claim entry, and then publications are kind of the main tiles there. So if there's anything I can click into and demonstrate or show, please let me know.
And tracking, guys, I'm sure many of you have used it. So if a contractor comes in and he may have a sister brand part with him, you can track that unit. You can track that unit with a serial number to find out if it is under warranty yet, or if there is an extended labor warranty on it.
Correct. Great point. I'm putting in here a York unit, any JCI brand, Luxair, Coleman. You can view those details. You can see, who purchased it, if it's registered, all those good details. If there's any claims against it. But this is an example of that.
This is Shannon.
Hey.
Hey, I had a couple questions on, so I got some dealers that are not set up for comfort plans. And if they go to a job and there's a labor plan on their serial number, they will not let me just warranty a part without offering labor.
Interesting.
So I'm like just giving a random dealer free labor for something he didn't do just to file my part. Of course, the customer's happy about it, but
right.
Is the dealer signed up to sell extended labor warranties?
No. So I only have about 4 or 5 dealers who have signed up for extended labor warranties. But say we got a random dealer new to us, new to JCI. They want to file a warranty for a customer that they didn't install the unit for. And I'll tell them, hey, it's under warranty. He didn't care about the labor. He's going to bill his homeowner because he didn't install the equipment, even though I told him, hey, you can get labor if you know, give me your tax ID number or your social, and I can set you up to get labor for it. He's like, no, I don't want that. I'm going to deal with the homeowner. I said, okay. So there was 3 different claims that I had to file like that for 3 different contractors. And the only way to get my money back for my part, coil compressor, is to put a dealer on there for labor warranty.
Yeah, if you run across that where it is covered by an extended labor warranty, they have to be signed up in order for you to do anything.
I
mean,
know.
yeah.
What do you do? He's the only dealer, you know?
Yeah, well, and if he, you know, he can do whatever he wants with the homeowner, but you know, rightfully they purchased an extended labor warranty. So he can do whatever he wants with the money, but I would get him signed up on it and let him work it out with the homeowner if he wants, but we can't warranty it unless he's signed up on the program.
Right, but that's not also fair to the homeowner either.
No, it's not. If the dealer wants to charge him, it's not at all.
Well, I mean, not that part. I'm talking about that dealer not being able to file the warranty because he doesn't want to give his tax ID number.
Yeah, well, then he's gotta work that out with the homeowner, I guess. Or call another contractor, I guess.
Right.
That's,
And
yeah.
I mean, my main concern is I don't really care about the labor either. I just want my money back for the parts, you know.
Sure.
And if JCI wants to keep the labor, I'm fine with that. I just need to file a warranty.
You'll have to
parts.
Yeah, I don't know, Robin, you might have to bring that up with warranty and find out if, I've never heard that happening before, so.
No, I've written that down. Yep. We will look into that, Shannon, and see what we can discover, what we can do. But I do know, you know, we register a lot of dealers on only warranty, you know, so they can do their warranty stuff. They may not be CCE, you know, but that's why warranty is the first step in setting up a dealer, because that gives them the access to do their warranty stuff. But if they're not willing to give you the information, then that's another problem. So we'll look into that.
Appreciate it.
Robin, I have a question. So for the Hitachi stuff, and I know that that's new for you guys kind of taking over, is there a plan to do one of these sessions since like warranties and registering are a little bit different?
Yes. Yep. I can do a session over Hitachi warranty.
Perfect, because I'm getting a lot of questions about that down here in Florida, so might be good to kind of go over all that.
And I believe in the future, I don't know how future, there are plans for Hitachi to join on the warranty platform. I don't know when or what, but I believe that is the idea.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great question.
Is Hitachi and Champion, as far as ductless goes, from what I understand, they're using the same platform to file a warranty?
No,
So Hitachi's different from the ductless Champion?
Yes.
yes.
All right.
Another great question. Thank you. Yes.
So to Robin's point, we are working right now with Hitachi to bring them into Navigator.
Hmm.
And so, but we will have some office hours on Hitachi, so you can specifically file your warranties and understand it better.
Awesome. Oh, Robin,
Sir.
I got 3 units I got to do a warranty voucher for, and they're ductless. And
Okay.
I think Jeff's on here. But I've been trying to contact somebody from the warranty department on the Champion ductless to get a warranty voucher. I've sent a few emails. I've called 4 times in the last 2 weeks, and it rings, and eventually just goes to voicemail. I've left a voicemail. I haven't got a call back. I know the guy's name was, I want to say it was David.
Okay.
But I
I'll
don't.
tell you what, Shannon, we'll follow up with you right after the meeting on that,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get that handled for you.
Appreciate it.
Just making notes here so I don't forget. What else pertaining to warranty?
I think we got everything covered here.
I think we do too.
Warranty.
Okay, let's move on to pricing. So again, access pricing through Solution Navigator. You can drop down pricing from the top or access pricing through applications in the middle here. Your quote management is where you're going to create your IPAs. And this is also a good opportunity if you have questions about the pricing matrix.
Yeah, I got some questions on that.
Okay, go for it.
So on the pricing matrix, I know there's a set price, and it doesn't have to be approved because we can sell it for whatever the matrix tells us we could sell it for. So we don't have to file an IPA or a claim back. But who, I'm trying to put this in words. Once we sell it at that cost, does JCI catch that on the back end, and we don't have to worry about it?
That's a pre-approved IPA. You still have to file a claim on it. You still have to
Okay.
file on it. Yep.
So how do I do it when I have dealers on certain groups in my IPA system? And if I take them off of one to put them on another, it combines them together.
Yeah. And are you working with Wind Supply on your claimbacks?
Yes, Gwen, well, she's getting ready to retire soon, but she usually helps us out with those. But
Yeah, they can explain that to you. You actually have to develop another group. If you're using the same dealer on multiple IPAs, you have to start another group for them on that IPA. And I'm not sure exactly how that works. I just know some of my customers were working with multiple IPAs and one customer and had to do that. So,
okay, so just create a group, and then every time I need to add a unit for that particular job, if it's not already on there, just add that unit to that new matrix.
you know what,
IPA.
you'd better double check with them to find out exactly how it's done. Again, I don't know how that SPQ or IPA system works on the wind side.
Is there anybody on the call that has good experience with using the pricing matrix and getting things squared away pretty well?
Yeah, I use it a lot. The easiest way to do it, Shannon, is to go ahead and file an IPA on Solution Navigator, and then you'll get an IPA number, and then you just create a new SPA in Wise, and make a group for that one customer.
Yeah, I know that part, but they're saying we don't have to do that, get a new number because we already have pre-approval. So is there a pre-approval number we can use?
No, they won't turn it down. The matrix is pre-approved. And so when you do your IPA on JCI, you just put on there per commercial matrix.
Well, that's
And
commercial. I mean, the residential.
on your residential, the matrix, anything on the residential is going to be set up for you or your store individually, not when supply wide.
Well, there is a matrix for residential equipment now, just set up just like the commercial matrix.
Shannon, who's your RAM?
Yeah, I'm right. It's Jeff. I'm right here. I was looking at his IPAs. We just have to get that IPA loaded in for you, Shannon, and you'll have a new quote number or IPA number.
Okay, will that have all the systems on there? Say, for a particular job, this customer's got to sell it at this cost to win the job.
It'll have every single piece of equipment that we offer on it, even the ones that we can't use here in the South.
Awesome.
But it'll be at the 8% is what they're going to load it in at. So we'll have to get with that sheet and look to see, what your claim back will be.
Awesome.
Based off of what percentage you sell it at.
Sweet. Yeah, I got one to do today. I'll wait.
I'll go ahead and send that in for them to get that loaded in for you.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, Jeff, could you send that in for Amarillo One Air as well? I don't have that new one loaded either.
We'll look and see.
Yep.
We should have sent that out to everybody, but we'll see about doing that. Making sure everybody has it. Does that answer your question, Shannon?
Yep. Perfect.
Awesome. And thank you, Jack.
No problem.
Question. Basically, he needs to process separate IPA claimbacks for both IPA and matrix. So the matrix is going to be kind of a pre-approved IPA. So you'll still submit it, but it's pre-approved.
Thanks.
What else pricing wise?
Outside, it could be better.
Always. Any questions on modifying or extending?
These guys got it down here on the pricing side as well.
It's awesome.
Why don't you go over to that Source One, go over to Source One and show them how to really start putting together parts list. I know I've been getting a lot of requests for that lately. And
Even
this
if
is
they're going to be on tomorrow's session.
Yeah, right. Well,
Okay.
if they can't make it, this will be a quick once over. So guys, this is a great tool to have, especially now, to order your parts for fall. And you can use this as a quick reference for your counters. You can use it as a quick reference with your customers. But it's a great way to have all the parts that you need for our equipment.
Yes. And you can actually create the lists based on any combination of valid model numbers. So if you wanted to create your lists by system or by product family or by certain type of model, it's the sky's the limit. You can put every single unit that you have into a recommended stock list. You can do it however you want, really. But basically, you put in a model. I put in a partial because I wanted to pull up a family. I just go to this suggested to stock, and how I got here, I just drop down parts from the top, Smart Search UPG products. Again, you can access applications and parts. Suggested to stock. This kind of pops open. You can choose what models you want. So I'm just going to choose like 3, and then I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom. And what it does is it opens this box up, and I'm going to click add to review. And it also, I mean, if you have, a couple units, you can also, it's just a comma to separate them, no space. You can also type them in. If you have a list of them, you can upload that list, and it will put it into that box for you. So once you have the units that you want to run the parts list for, there's 3 different ways to run it. But first, let's answer the question, why is this parts list, why is it important? Why why would why would I need a recommended to stock parts list? Does anybody know the answer to that?
Because you won't have the parts when you need it.
Right. Yeah, you want to have the right parts at the right time for the units that you need. Yes. There's also other reasons, you can, if you have a stocking truck, you can put those parts on that truck. You have the correct parts for the units that you carry. You have that. Uh, Another reason it's great for the counter person. They have a quick reference for the units that you sell right there at their fingertips. Also, it's a good idea when you have a stocking list to stock up on maybe some of those parts that are in high demand. For example, right now, coils. Uh, it's helpful to, if you don't want to stock up on coils, to at least know what those high demand part numbers are. The ones that are in your recommended to stock list are going to be generally more high demand. Source One comes out with a list. Go ahead. Okay. Source One comes out with a list. Generally, there's one for heating season and there's one for cooling season. And they use that list. It's kind of that high demand list. If you were to order those parts, expedited shipping, so first, second, third day air, Saturday air, it actually incurs an additional $75 fee on top of the air freight. So that's really to kind of encourage you to, be aware of those parts, stock them, make them available as best as you can so you don't have to air freight those parts in. Of course, if you warranty order them, there's no additional fee except for the freight. Any questions on that?
So Robin, after
Yes.
you click add to review, I'm assuming you're gonna show
Yes.
where the parts are.
Yep, let's build some lists. Okay, there's 3 different ways that you can run the list. The first way is the Smart Search data. And what this does is this gives you everything that if you were to put the unit into Smart Search UPG products, what that would return. So it's going to have the panels, it's going to have the gaskets, it's going to have the nuts and bolts and everything that Smart Search UPG products will give you. So you can run that. Let's go ahead and do it for these units, and I'll show you what it looks like once it returns. Obviously, the more units you put into the box, the little longer it may take to return a result. Either it'll pop down at the bottom for you or at the top. It gives you an Excel document to work with. And this is nice. You can format it however way you want. Please let me know that you can see this Excel document.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. we
Okay,
can see
good
it.
deal. Okay, so it's nice. It's formatted nicely. What this gives you, again, it's going to give you everything that Smart Search UPG products in Solution Navigator is going to give you. The nice thing about it is it adds in this column, suggested stock item. So it's going to designate whether the part is considered a recommended to stock item. You know, a wire harness may not be a recommended to stock item, but this is going to give you absolutely everything. And again, it gives you, you know, by model, the material. It's laid out almost exactly like Smart Search UPG products is. You can filter by, you know, your product group. If you want to know if it's an actual suggested stock item, the original BOM material, if that part number is different from column B here in the material, that just means when the unit was built, they may have used a different part number. The really excellent thing about this is if you have, let's see, that's the same. Okay, the second line, this blower combustion blower, if you have this original motor sitting on your shelf and it's calling for this motor, this one will fulfill your need for that motor. So essentially those two parts are the same exact part. So it's important to be aware and know kind of what you have, what you need, and how they work with each other. And if you're ever, you know, wondering, well, what do I have? How do I know? You can go back to Smart Search products and I'm going to take that combustion blower and I'm going to put it in the search box. So I found this motor on the shelf. I don't know anything about it. Well, let's click into it. Anything blue on this page is hyperlinked. First thing for parts, big thing to notice is that the status is obsolete. So this lets us know, hey, you know, there's something up with this. Let's take a look. First cue would be to go to supersedes, and that's going to give us that active part number that was in column B of our Smart Search data list for recommended to stock parts. What it also gives you here is kind of a hierarchy of parts associated with that part. So let's say you have this one on the shelf. Again, essentially the same as the top part. All of those motors are the same thing and will work the same way for the unit.
Robin, go back to your Excel sheet, please.
You got it. Sorry, I'm kind of no clutching.
One of the things that I like to do is if you take your material list over here in column B and you sort that alphabetically, you're going to see all the products or all the parts that fit on multiple products.
Yes, and we will get into that too.
Okay.
Because this is just one way to run the information, but this kind of gives you the full gamut, like everything that Smart Search is going to give you. So you may not need all this. This is good for someone at the counter maybe that would maybe need to know, you know, those sheet metal parts and gaskets and nuts and bolts and stuff. But this is just one way. So let's take a look. Let's do a TM9E. I want to run a list. I'm going to click this suggested to stock. And you can click all, of course. I'm gonna, oh, they're already in there, so never mind. So I've got my units in here. The next way to run the material or the list would be by model. So I'm gonna go ahead and run that. And each way kind of condenses that big list down. So what by model is going to give us are only the parts that are recommended for stocking or considered recommended for stocking. Let me pop this open. Again, it's in a nice format. Gives you filters, but you can see that there's only suggested to stock items on the list. You can sort the material as Randy suggested. You can sort your product group, so you have them by kind of groups. But what this is going to give you is the model, the material, and then how many of each one it's going to need.
Is there a way to export this back to
Absolutely.
after we filter it out?
Yeah, you can go to file and you can save it however you want, print it, whatever you want to do.
No, I mean export it back to Navigator to actually order instead of typing in each.
Yes. If you needed, let's say, 3 materials, you could copy those and then paste them into the quick order widget on the main page of Solution Navigator.
No. Now, the problem I've seen with that
Mhm.
is sometimes they're ducted system parts and sometimes they're source one parts.
Mhm.
I wish there was a way to click all, you know.
Right. Well, and when we were filtering on the other list, this one's not going to give it to us, but go back to our. Okay, so like these materials, you're not going to be able to order those through Solution Navigator. Topic for another day. But all of these S1 parts, you should be able to order through Solution Navigator.
No, I mean when you copy and paste, it'll
Mhm.
say, you know, say you selected 10 items
Okay.
or however many it tells you. It'll take away the items that aren't ducted, and then you actually have to remember which ones didn't get added to the cart, and then go back and then select source one, and then type those numbers back in to add it
Right.
to. I wish
There's
there was a option in that quick widget to select all instead of having to select either ductless, ducted, source one, or what have you.
in addition to quick order widget, there's also the mass upload, which I think would work for you, where you can put ducted systems parts, source one parts, residential equipment accessories, ductless. You could put all of those items onto that mass upload, and it lets you do different sellers in one shot.
Where is that?
That's also on the main page, and if you don't see it, up at the top under the blue part, there's a customized widget or customized layout, which lets you kind of move around your widgets or add or take away what you don't see or what you see.
Okay, I see it now.
Okay,
Sweet.
that's pretty handy too.
Well, it says select seller.
You'll pop open a template and then you can copy and paste stuff in that way. That's something that we can go over in another session, actually. I'll write that down.
And I'm also having a big issue with being in Smart Search, where you can click it and add to cart.
Yes.
It doesn't add to cart.
Okay, that's a permission thing. We can look into that for you.
Sweet. Sorry, I got a lot of issues.
You're fine. That's what this is for. So this is by model. We've run our list by model. So you can, filter by your model. You can filter by the part. And maybe see what all, we can see here. We've got all these units that use the same switch. But let's take this a step further. There's another way we can run this, and it's by material. And this is going to condense our list down even more, and it's going to give us the materials, basically how many of those models use that material and how many total parts you would need. I don't know if Dave Drag is on the call, but I think he's a big fan of this way. So you can see our list is considerably smaller because it only gives us what materials we need, and then how many models use them, and then how many total of those pieces you would need, or what's considered the unit would need. Blow that up for you. There we go. Any questions on that? It's pretty handy. You know, if I know I've got this blower motor, I've got one unit that uses it, but you know, I've got a flame sensor. All of those units use that same part number of flame sensor. All of them use the same board. All of them use the same blower housing. So that's handy information to know if you only carry TM9Es.
Right, and if you are selling a lot of two-stage variable or two-stage or ECM motors in general, you might ask us about buying a programmer. 98% of the time, those motors go bad, but the controller doesn't. So you don't have to be selling your customer a $500-600 motor when you can get away with a $200-300 motor.
Right. And that should probably be another session too. Programming
Yep.
motors.
Hey, what's that part number for that motor programmer?
I'll send that to you.
Is there training along with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to take training to be, I guess, registered or certified to actually use it, but it's an online thing.
Okay.
Any questions on those lists? Remember, you can run these parts lists with any combination of valid model numbers. So I just gave you one example. You can, again, do this by systems. You can do it, you know, by all just furnaces, by all condensers, you know, sky's the limit, however you want to do it. But this is where you can do it. And then if you want to clear it, start over. Let's take a look at the new XC3, which it's not going to. Let me see here. There we go. Our new XC3. Okay, let me go back. And that's interesting. Okay, so another note, make sure the XC3s are in the parts list. Any other questions about creating stock lists?
Try the XC4s, see if they're available. Because I think those are currently available. Get it?
Robin, we are not shipping those yet. So that could
Okay,
be
so
why
the
they're
parts
not.
list,
Yeah,
Okay.
that could be why they're not going to start shipping until October.
well, dang it. Well, we're in Smart Search UPG products, and we did do a session over ordering warranty parts. Are there any questions, concerns, hangups on ordering warranty parts?
I have a question, Robin. So we talked about in the session for ordering warranty parts about hot shotting it and how the cutoff was 4 o'clock Central Time.
Yes.
I have a meeting with the Source One team tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to talk to them about this, but do you know what each ship method's cutoff is?
The hot shot warranty and any air freighting is 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. For ground, it's going to be, there's really not a cutoff time for ground. But on the parts side, usually it's 4 o'clock Central Standard Time for any air freighted, expedited, or warranty orders.
Okay.
And if that has changed, if you find that out, please let me know. But I checked and that was the last that I knew.
Okay.
So basically that just means if you get your order in before 4 o'clock, it should ship out the same day as long as it's available. Provided you have selected hotshot shipping in the checkout process and provided the serial number in the shipping notes of that next checkout process.
And Robin, I guess you might make mention to everyone again, and everybody's probably aware of it. When they look at a particular part, they may
Mhm.
not see them in inventory
Yes.
because they're being held for warranty.
Yes. So if you see a part, I made a big point on our session that if you see a part and it has less than 10 in stock, or it's on temporary block. Temporary block just means that it's still an active part number, but what Randy was referring to is that they may have some of those like held back just for warranties. So they want to do that. So when people, place stock orders or onesies, twosies, they're not wiping out the whole stock. So if you see that, it's important to call Source One and make sure that, if they have less than 10, if they have 5, do they really have those 5? Verify, know up front whether, you have that part in stock, because you're going to know. You're going to know firsthand, right when you're placing that order, if that part's in stock or not. So let's say, oh, yeah, well, I think it might say 5, but no, now we have 3. You're probably still okay to go ahead and order that. Ordering through Solution Navigator is almost an immediate process. So I encourage you to order your parts through Solution Navigator. It lets you know, as long as you're using your own account, it lets you know, immediately a confirmation number. It, sends you a PDF order acknowledgement. It gives you all the information almost immediately. You can still send in POs. I don't recommend doing that. There's a $25 fee for them to manually enter it. So I kind of discourage against that, but Solution Navigator is going to give you immediate. if you call about a temporary block, and let's say, yes, we do have those set aside for warranty, have your PO number. Go ahead and place the order. You can always cancel it if you don't need it, but place the order, let them know, hey, I just placed PO XYZ. Are you able to, apply some of that stock to my order? They should be able to do it on the phone with you. Any calls like that, you're getting immediate feedback so you can take immediate action. Let's say you're calling on a temporary block and they don't have any available. Right then, you've placed your order. They're telling you that there's none available. You do not have to wait the 3 days to request a warranty voucher. You can request a warranty voucher through JCI Connect, through Solution Navigator. If you're a TSM, or if you have a TSM, you can contact your TSM and go through the process that way. The standard process, though, is to place your order, because they've got to, the first thing tech services is going to look for is an order for that part. If there's no demand showing for that part, they're going to go, well, who needs it? What unit needs it? There's a lot of tracking things that happen behind the scenes, so that order really needs placed. So you've requested your warranty voucher. Again, it's the same way that kind of the same communication and feedback you would get when placing an order. They'll send you a case number or a confirmation number. You'll get, information back once it is accepted or not, or sometimes they'll give you credit for a new unit. Sometimes they'll give you a recommendation or suggestion of a different part to use. So it kind of just depends on the situation, but they will give you that feedback that way. Again, important to use your own account when going through JCI Connect as well. Are there any questions on that process?
Robin, what's the reply time, expected reply time?
So through JCI Connect, again, that's an immediate thing. So your request is being immediately sent, especially since it's a warranty voucher. They're going to look at that. I'm going to guess same day. They're going to look at that right away. The important thing to know on requesting a warranty voucher, there's a lot of literature out there that says, you have to wait 3 days. The 3 days thing is Source One has 3 days to provide you that warranty part. So again, you've done your work. You know that, hey, that temporary block's not available, or, I see 0 and I've called, when you're placing that order right then that there is no stock. So you don't have to wait 3 days. That 3 days is just what Source One, that's what they have to provide you that part. So right up front, you can request a warranty voucher, but the order needs placed because they will look for that.
This might be a topic for another session, but there's no way to click on an existing warranty voucher request when I go to view my old ones that I'm still waiting on.
Yep.
I see the case auto email that I get that's automated generated, but not saying I haven't got them. It usually takes 3 or 4 days. I finally get a response and get my warranty voucher. But it'd be nice to be able to view them, check the status on them. I can click on it, but it does nothing.
It does nothing. I don't know if that's going to be something down the line or what, but I'm happy to look into that. You said it's taking 3 or 4 days to get your warranty voucher back?
Yeah, I got them all back. But yes, 3 to 4 days, unless I call, and that's immediate. I usually get if I can get somebody on the phone,
Yeah.
Answer, I'm usually getting that warranty voucher same day versus the JCI Connect, 3 or 4 days at least before I even get a response saying, hey, I need a picture, I need, what were the multiple failures? You know, are we out of stock? You know, those questions. But I do put most of that in the notes, the comment notes. So
Right. And that's the great thing about JCI Connect. It's going to ask you all of that critical information up front. So hopefully it takes out that back and forth communication.
Robin, as far as reading the detail in the cases, all the TSMs at each location can
Mhm.
read their cases.
Correct.
They can see their cases.
yeah,
But I
you
don't
can
think they can get into them.
status. Yeah.
Yeah, they just see that they're there. But yeah, that's I'll
But they
look into
get the
that.
responses, they see the responses from tech service and from the RTSMs as well.
Right.
Yep.
Well, we've got about 5 minutes left. Are there any questions on anything else?
Does everyone know where to go for JCI Connect?
Great
take a look.
question, Randy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
So either dropping down resources from the top or applications and then resources, JCI Connect, which was formerly DS Connect. Here is JCI Connect. Great communication tool. Gives you kind of by topic or by business group. And this lets you, like if we click into parts, the most commonly asked questions, if you need any information regarding parts, things, these are kind of quick links to that. Asking a question about various topics as well. But yep, just resources under ducted systems, JCI
Yeah.
Connect.
Open one of them up if you would, Robin, so they
Sure.
can get an idea here if they're not using it. And what this provides, guys, is so you don't have to go back and forth or wait on the phone for someone. You put in all the equipment pertinent information on the model and everything, and then your requested remedy. And this goes to everyone in that department.
Yes.
They get pinged on it right away. So it does surprise me to hear that something took 4 days, because I've
Yeah.
been with local companies that received it minutes after they sent it in.
They probably,
You get the auto response.
yeah,
place.
the auto response should be immediate, within
Yeah,
5 10
that
minutes.
you'll get right away, right?
Right. And this, Shannon made an excellent point. He called in for a warranty voucher. That is also an option. That's going to get you, immediate call is going to get you immediate action. Just what JCI Connect does is, all of that information that you're eventually going to have to send, it's going to ask for. So you can make your request and send all your information in all together, all at one time. Your information auto populates, which is nice. You can put in files here, pictures of things. The nice thing, if you need to add pictures to it, you can go to the email that you receive, the confirmation email, and you can add pictures to it, and it will add pictures to your case. So,
Hey, Robin, do we recommend filling out this first, get your case number, and then calling saying, hey, I've got case number, XYZ that I'm calling about, to make things quicker instead of just calling?
for
Jeff,
warranty voucher?
Yes.
That creates two different cases.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
So
Yeah.
first thing, you want to make sure that you place your parts order, because they're going to look for that everywhere. Like they're going to look for that. So that's number one. Number two, I would go through JCI Connect, just because you're going to have to provide that information. And if they have it in front of them when you're calling, that's going to make your call go a lot faster. So that's a great question. That's a great, yeah.
And outside of sending emails to Source One,
Mhm.
I think The only way I get an answer is when I copy you, Jeff, Jessica. I don't know why. And I know y'all seen them, how far back they go, but some of them are a month old, and I'm like, why haven't I gotten a response?
Sometimes, I mean, when you're sending in this information, it turns it into a case. And then that business unit has a list of cases to go through. So depending upon how many they have, what time of year it is right now, they probably are pretty booked up. It's going to take them longer, or it may take them quicker, just kind of depending. But yeah, kind of nature of the beast. Anything else for our last minute?
Thanks, Robin. Appreciate
No,
it.
of course. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. We know it's busy season. We know it's hot. We appreciate you taking time with us, and know that you can reach out to us at any time with anything. So enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Robin.
Thanks, Robin. Thanks, team.
Thanks, Robin.